So in that time, it was a lot going on for African Americans in the United States, and especially in the South. So your childhood, you grew up in that civil rights era where everything was from Emmett Till.
Yeah, I remember Emmett
the
Till.
bus boycotts, to you yourself being involved in the civil rights movement as a teenager. So growing up, was the racism in Albany, was it out loud, or was it more behind the scenes, like they wouldn't display it unless, quote unquote, you got out of line?
Well, I would think, I'm thinking that it was outright, because anytime you had to go in the back door,
Right.
or if you went to like the 10-cent store, the 5 and 10 store they call it, and when you were in line, and if a white person came, you had to get out of line. You had to let them go before you.
No matter what order the line was?
It didn't matter.
Okay.
And I was mischievous, okay? So, but at any rate, I mean, you get tired of that.
Yeah.
And I was a little rebellious, yes. And my mama was a little afraid for me sometimes, because I'll never forget this one lady. She was so nasty. The lady, the people come, you just wait, and she'd say the N-word. So, but the thing about it.
To a child?
Yes, to a child, to me. But the thing about it was that if she did not get the money from a black person and ring up the receipts, and she didn't get the money, she had to pay for it.
Okay. Was it her store, or was
No,
she just a
she was just working there, but that was
Okay.
one of the rules.
All right.
So I mean, it was wrong, but I got fed up.
Yeah.
So
paid for it.
that day, I let her. She was talking to one of her friends, and she said, "Oh, this little whatever can wait." And but when she got to me, she just ranged it up without taking the money. And I said, "Oh, I don't want it," and I left. But I never went back to that store again, because I just couldn't go back.
Yeah.
I said, I didn't know if they might have done something to me. I don't know. But she was very upset because she had to pay for that. So, but that's what you had to, go through.
Okay. Now, I know my family went to a county school. So it was McCormick County. It was just like everybody in that area went there, white, black, didn't matter.
Oh.
Until a certain point. They do tell me it was like all black elementary schools. And then when they got to middle and high school, it was everybody at some point. So in Albany, were the schools segregated, or was it a black only school?
But during my time?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes. It was segregated.
Okay.
I mean, I went to an all-black elementary, middle, and high school.
Okay.
I think they did, after I left, I know that they integrated.
Yeah. So how was the experience going to an all black education system?
I loved it.
Loved it. Okay.
I had no problem with it, because the teachers, I'll say for the most part, the teachers loved the children, and they took good care of them.
Right.
For the most part. Now,
Okay.
there were a lot of problems. I'm not saying, but they took care of their own. And if you did wrong, you were afraid to do wrong, so you tried to do right, because they'd go to your house and tell your parents.
So it was a tight knit community.
It was
right?
tight knit,
And that was when everybody took care of everybody.
everybody took care of everybody. And the thing is that when I got to high school, I remember that I started band. I started flute right before then. And this band director was most influential in my life, because I always had a good work ethic from my parents, but he instilled even more into me. And he saw something in me, and he helped me so much. And I thought he was being cruel at some times, but I appreciated him so much for what he did,
So you began playing the flute in the band in high school. Was it a marching band? Or
Well,
was it
let me
chorus?
say, my dad